Alright. So, number 1, sorry we're starting late, as usual. Number 2, don't know how long we're going today because I'm not feeling that well at all. That's why we're starting late. Number 3, we are doing more crafty stuff instead of Coral Island today because I need to get gifts done as fast as I can because I'm running behind. I did get the husbands finished. He might need a second hanger on the shell, but there's this little half-assed hermit crab guy. The shell kind of got a little bit out of control, but you know, there's this little crabby guy. Obviously I don't know how to needle felt a hermit crab, and that was the best I could do. I still have his dinosaur though, which I haven't had any time to work on, so no real updates on that. So this is going to be my dad's, and I was going to try to do a small 3D one for him. Instead of doing a flat one. How big is her chicken? Well, you know what? Her chicken's kind of big, so I'll take that out to there. What's wrong? You sure?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright, so we're trying to do his boat here. And I'm just trying to give me like a base template here, like top down kind of thing. Just because I know me. And I know at times if I don't have guidelines, it gets a little funky, so let's see if we can probably gonna look like a mushroom at the moment. That's how these things tend to look. At least from the top down. Alright, that's probably good enough. it's gonna be a little bit tricky here. It's a boat, I promise. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's gonna be. Alright. Now, excuse me. Just kind of tried to use this as my base. So, got that started. So, and we're not doing a flat one. This time. So that's why it looks a little bizarre. Not going with the flat this time. This is kind of the bottom, like the keel kind of. Situation here. Alright, let's see about here. So hope everybody's week's been going okay. Sorry we didn't end up doing a art stream last night. I was fighting one hell of a headache, so and I was trying to get the husband's gift done, or one of his gifts done. So that's what was happening instead. Now this probably has a bit more rounded edges than the boat really would have, but it's gonna be hard to get like crisp edges with how we're doing this anyhow. Right now, I'm just trying to work on getting sort of a shape here that we can work with without it getting too big on us. And it's not even at all. I'm not surprised, but you know, might be good enough for our purposes. So alright, let's put that in there. So it's gonna change a little bit as we go. Alright, okay, so we're gonna start out with the roving, right? So I have some multicolored roving. I don't have the white roving, so this is what I got. This is what we're using. So we'll put this as our base, as our core, and then we'll wrap the color around it because that's just gonna be easier, to be perfectly honest. At least in this instance. What side do we want to use? I think we were using this side. I'm not sure what side we were using before. I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright. This is just so I can pull it up a little bit easier off of matte. Alright. Uh-oh. Shit. Okay. Where did that? Oh, there it is. See, my desk, the floor under my desk is this ginormous black hole. Because I've got so much stuff stored underneath of it. So we just have no room to store anything. Alright. Still using that fucked up needle. Till the bitter end, friends. Till the bitter end. But that's just me. If you have, if you're not on such a tight budget as me, then by all means get a new needle. But yeah, so I'm just gonna get some fluff going here. Try to get some fluff going here. So this is the same fluff that I've used on the husband's dinosaur, and you know, the rooster and stuff for my mom. Alright, so I'm just gonna, kind of how we did the flat pieces. This is just to save me some time. I could do this without having this template around it, but it might take me a few extra days of fussing it to get the size and the shapes right. Especially lately, it seems, so I don't quite have that much time to fuss it. we're just gonna hope that we get somewhat close to the shape that we need. Okay. So, hope everybody's week's going okay. Hope it hasn't been too stressful for you. I know we are getting down into, at least for the crafters out there, really getting down into gift making crunch time here. So sorry there's no Coral Island today. But we do need to get this work done. Today is your last day to send in your 2022 Challenger death lists for the WoW Challenges end of year Challenger death show. So make sure that you get those lists sent in tonight of your challengers if you kept one that didn't make it. Did you taste it? Do we need to add anything?
I just had some meatballs. Seems good.
Okay. Sorry, we were making dinner. So, it's nothing nefarious or anything. It's just a list of your characters that didn't survive the challenges. If you kept one for this past year. And if you get those sent in, they will be read out on the show this weekend. So is his machine okay? You never said.
Yeah, it's fine. I thought I did tell you. No, it's fine.
Alright. We'll work on getting this all tacked together. So this is gonna be our base shape here for like the bottom, and then we're gonna build it up a bit as we go. I just wanted to try to get some sort of base happening. Sorry, I'm hearing a noise and I don't know what it is.
What kind of noise?
I don't know. For a few moments there, it sounded like a fire engine just laying on its horn, but I didn't hear any sirens going with it. It was just like the hum of like a fire engine horn.
I did not hear it.
So I was trying to figure out what the fuck I was hearing. It was probably just a car. It just seemed out of place. I was like, what is that? Alright, so we definitely have to peel this up at some point here. After we get these last few loose strands worked in here. Still haven't figured out what color this is gonna be. The one photo I have has it as like a, I don't know, a light mid-range blue, not like cornflower, a little darker than that. I think I might just make it whatever blue I seem to have a lot of. There was one photo I found that had the color of the boat on it. And the boat existed before the days of the internet, and there doesn't seem to be any photos that were ever posted online after the fact of it. So I don't know whatever happened to it after it was sold. I don't know if it was scrapped or if it was had its name changed and it kept on racing. I don't know what happened to it. That was apparently its class registration number, I think, E121. Tried to look up the number, I wasn't having much luck with that either. Alright, gently, because it's gonna stretch out as I do that. Alright, and then I'm gonna flip this guy over. And then just gonna add a bit more. Well, first I'm gonna get the little bitty bits of cardboard out of there because the fluff just grabs onto everything. I'm gonna do another couple of layers here. I'm gonna like, it's kind of like folded up on itself, so I'm just kind of unfolding it. I'm kind of fluffing it, stretching it out a little bit here. Just want to build that up just a little bit before we start putting parts on it. Now it's probably not going to be 100% accurate, just so you know. Alright. So start tapping in on this edge. So like I said, this is just kind of our inside workings here. We will have different color when we're done, but this will be wrapped in. Hitting everything but the fluff, apparently. That's not good. I need to hit the fluff. Do you need the pasta done now?
No.
Okay. Alright. So yeah, like I said, don't know how long we're going today, but we'll try to get at least a little bit done here. See what we can do. So just trying to find the edges of my template here. It seems to have gone missing under all of the fluff. Ever so slightly. And, you know, that's gonna happen when you're this far over the edge of the template, apparently. So I don't have any new details, or any more details on the thing that the husband and I are gonna try to do yet. I think we're gonna do that on YouTube, though. I think we're gonna record it just to make it a little bit easier on him, so that way he can work on his as he feels up to it. And no real stress about, you know, not feeling up to live streaming it on a particular day. Does mean more video editing, but, you know, I will get that other video finished, I promise. Just really need to get, gifts done, so I've been focused on that. Okay, just tap it, tap it, tap it. I don't want to go too crazy here yet. Because, you know, we're still have our piece of felt down here. So I don't want to fully attach into that. Not yet, at least. Well, not at all, really. Not for this one. Okay, so let's come over to this side, because I couldn't see what was happening on this side. So yeah, I didn't want to completely tamp down on the other side when we hadn't fully checked in over here yet. I mean, we've checked in a little bit, but we didn't check in that much. We'll still be doing Planet Zoo tomorrow, I think. That should be fine. We're on the podcast on Saturday. That's going to be the last podcast of 2022. So we might do some different stuff on Saturdays, on the 3 Saturdays that we're gonna not be tied up with the podcast. I think Christmas, hang on, let's see, what day is Christmas on? can find my mouse. So Christmas is on a Sunday, so we won't be streaming on Christmas Day. I don't know. We won't be streaming on Christmas Day because I have to make dinner. Don't know if we'll be doing anything Christmas Eve. If we do, it'll probably be, you know, in the afternoon. Because I think our Christmas Eve dinner plans may have changed from what they originally were. But we'll see. I'll try to squeeze in something. We'll definitely be doing the day after. That's for sure. And I need to find time to sit down to figure out our next two Bob Ross ones, because we need to get back into that, and we will as soon as Christmas craft gift season wraps up. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to work that out before the 26th. We'll see. If I do, then we'll start that back up on the 26th. If not, then I have another project that we can work on in the meantime. This guy, man. He got a little poofy. A little bit faster than I was expecting. I didn't think we had layered him up quite so much on this end compared to the front end. So we might pop you out of the template and flip you over, because I'm worried about you getting a little too cozy on your piece of felt here. Oh, more cardboard. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just, it's gonna take a little bit of work here, because this is all still loose. This hasn't really been felted yet. Not fully. I mean, I could pop them over. That is a possibility, but that side's already pretty nice and flat. So this is a much softer bit of roving. So it's probably higher quality than the other stuff that I've got. This stuff isn't quite as frizzy, although maybe it should be frizzy so that the notches in the needle can grab it better. I don't know. Hadn't really thought about that before. So like some of the edges on here are looking pretty good. Now it is a variegated, and we were in a deeper bluish purple section, so might be a little bit harder to see. But we're working on it. So this is a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be, but then it's not that much bigger than my mom's when you measure it from beak to tail, so I guess that's all right. This is just our base. See, we're getting there. We're getting more. All the little indents you can see from us stabbing into it. I mean, I could pull out Big Bertha, but Big Bertha's really heavy. And, while she might get the job done faster, I'm not a real big fan of hers, so, you know. Let's see here. Stab you into there. I'm probably going to have to add a little bit more to this front section. Because it's quite a bit flatter than the back section, although we might just flip it over and well, it's sort of taking on its own shape here. Which I figured would end up happening. And I'm not really mad about that. That's fine. Like, that's okay. I just don't want it getting too out of control. And suddenly becoming like the size of my arm or anything. That would be a little... Then that would be like a statue instead of a Christmas ornament, right? Christmas tree ornament. I'm just gonna kind of tap into here, just try to make sure everybody's somewhat behaving. Somewhat. Just trying to get everybody felted together. I'm really impressed with this needle having not snapped yet. With everything I've put it through so far. Like, really impressed. It's definitely bent, don't get me wrong. Definitely bent. But it's hanging in there like a champ. What the heck is our template side here? Where are you? Like you're here somewhere. Because you're definitely over the edge of the template guy here. That's a certainty. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that we are somewhat of a base shape that we're supposed to be. Probably have a few bits of cardboard in here. Probably more than a few at this point. I promise we're trying to needle felt a boat shape. I know it doesn't exactly look like a boat shape at the moment. It kind of will when we're done. Pop that guy on up. So yeah, that definitely helped flatten him down a little bit, going at him from the other side. Probably won't finish this guy today. And I don't think I'm gonna have time to do an extra art stream Friday night. So we'll get back to this guy on words and stuff on Sunday. Saturday night's not gonna happen, I can tell you that much right now. I am going to be busy from the time I get up on Saturday till probably like 1 or 2 a.m. and then I'm just going to want to like not do anything, so. Look, cardboard fuzz. Could you not? Thank you. Alright, so it's still a little squishy in the front end, like thin. So I think I want to add just a little bit more fluff in your nose there. So let's unfurl that. it's still a little thin down here, I think. Alright. If you need the pasta before I'm done, then by all means start it. Okay. Just making sure he's not sitting there starving, waiting on me. And again, sorry for the late start today. I was not feeling well earlier. I'm still not. Stop bending. Worse than you already are. That's why we're still using this guy, because he's still gonna be taking a slight beating here. While I am working with the templates and things, and we still have to do quite a bit on the dinosaur, so since the dinosaur still has that middle frame in him, I'm hoping that this needle will at least last us through that. Now, when we go back to doing our painting with wool, dang it. When we go back to doing the painting with wool, I will probably grab a unbent needle just to simplify life a little bit. And I probably wouldn't necessarily need to, because it is still putzing along pretty good. As far as I can tell here. And I probably could be using a medium gauge on this, but sometimes the weave on this guy can get, when you're doing the figurines, can tighten up a bit, so I'm like, well, I mean, this one's already kind of kafutzed anyway. So I think perhaps we'll just keep going with it. Alright, so we get this all tapped in as best as we can. At least this way will be a little bit more build up and probably match the back half a bit more, since I was a little concerned with how thin we were. I mean, it wasn't super thin, but you could definitely feel a difference in fiber thickness between the front and the back half here. Might need to flip this guy over like we did with the other half or the other sections, just to make sure that we are looking pretty good. Alright, on this side, like, we're not gonna be able to fully stay within our template, I'm sure. I'm sure as time goes on here, we're gonna get a little distorted. As we go. But yeah, if you're finding that the one side's just not fully grabbing, don't be afraid to flip them over and start going after that on the other side. Sometimes, you know, you just need to pull the fiber through from this end. And it also lets us polish up this side a bit as well. Get out of there, cardboard fuzzy. Gonna happen when you've got the raw edge on that cardboard there. I mean, you could use poster board too, probably. That's what you got. Foam board. Oh, foam board would be cool. That would be nice. And you've got that nice thick lip around the edge. Foam core can be a pain to cut though, so that you're definitely going to want an X-Acto knife for, and patience. Lots and lots of patience. You alright?
I'm as good as I'm gonna be.
Okay.
I'm having a little bit of an issue.
Do you need me?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to run and get water for you.
Okay. Just worried there wouldn't be enough for in the morning after I use what I need for pasta.
I'll just run the hearts and grab a couple gallons.
Okay. Yeah, because that other gallon's gone now because I had to water the dogs. Alright. Do you need a distilled for your face or anything?
I don't have any salt, remember?
Oh.
Oh, I could just use kosher salt, I suppose.
Can you?
Yeah. Let me see if I still have my distilled.
There's a bottle sitting there on the floor in front of the crab tank. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's distilled or...
That is distilled for the crabs, but let me check and see if I have it for myself, and if I don't, I'll just grab it while I'm there.
Okay. Alright, so we'll just work on... You're okay.
Yeah, no, I challenged myself and had some meatballs.
I would have just made the pasta and just reheated mine.
No, I wanted the meatballs. It's
Okay.
Just partway through, I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I already started, so I might as well finish it.
Alright. For those that don't know, my husband has severe anxiety, depression, and they also diagnosed him as autistic, which we didn't even know until he was going to get the official anxiety diagnosis, and food can be a challenge, so I mean, everything can be a challenge, but food especially, so. Do you have enough Tums? Do you need a couple of mine?
I still have the stuff that we got from the car, too.
Okay.
I'll be able to make it.
Okay. So some days are a little tougher and more challenging than others. We are still in the fight to try to get him approved for disability because he wants to work, but he hasn't been able to stay at a job. His last job, towards the end, he would be there like a half an hour at most and then have to come home because he started having all kinds of anxiety problems. So we're still in the middle of that fight. We're in the actual appeal now, apparently. We thought we were in the appeal before, but apparently someone decided that no, that was the first official attempt, even though we had gotten one denial letter saying that we were missing paperwork when we never got the request for said paperwork. So it's like, huh? What is she talking about? So, you know, whatever. We're still fighting. And then the medical system that we were using decided to say, hey, that insurance that you've been using for the past couple of years, yeah, we're not going to take that anymore. Oh, fuck, we still have to call and get my birthday straightened out. There was a typo on my birth year, and we called them once to fix it last year. Well, not last year, I guess February, when we were trying to get me sorted for my dental surgery, because the dentist office wasn't sure if they would cover any of it since it was sort of surgery, even though it was dental. And they're like, well, it won't hurt to try. The worst they can say is no. And I'm like, they're not going to cover it. And then we found out, hey, there's a typo with your birth year because they're saying you're not covered. And I'm like, really? Because I'm getting like paperwork from them all of the time. So it's the first time I really tried to use it, to be perfectly honest. And we called the one place and they're like, oh no, you have to go through this because you signed up through there and have them change it. And I'm like, really? So then a couple days later, we finally got through to them, and they're like, okay, we'll change it. It's changed in our system, and we will notify the insurance company, and we'll send them a letter that they need to change it. And we're like, okay, cool. And they're like, yeah, they'll probably issue you a new card. And I'm like, awesome. Well, never got the new card, and I'm like, they didn't change it. And we kind of lost sight of it with a bunch of other stuff that we had happening. So we were kind of like, all right, fine. And then when we found out that, hey, we're not going to take this insurance anymore, I'm like, really? We have no idea what we're going to have to pay on this new insurance. Russell said it's the same exact one, or the same exact coverage. It's just a different provider, and I'm gonna wait and see what this new one's gonna be like if they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we need a copay, and be like, huh? I'll be like, what you talking about? I'm scared about how much his prescription's gonna be now, because I know how much it was without the insurance with the GoodRx coupon, and that was, whew. It was like a good chunk of change. we're just, everything's a mess. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Alright, so that seems like that's pretty even thickness wise there. So now I'm gonna have to start building this guy. So this is a model that my dad put together that's kind of similar to his boat. I had a picture of him in the boat, and don't you know, I cannot find it. Like, it's just gone. I don't know if I shoved it back into our box of photos, so nothing happened to it. Like, I don't know where it went, because it had been floating around. Sorry, I'm just checking one other spot. It had been floating around on my desk for some time, and I thought I had put it back in the folder, but now I'm just not sure where it could have possibly gone to. And it had more of the shape. Like, I keep going to this one section, and I know where I found that photo, but I don't know where the other one is, and it's driving me crazy. And I didn't have time to rip the place apart looking for it. Alright, what side do we want to be the bottom here? I mean, this side's pretty flat, so... Alright, I'm gonna roll this up as best as I can here. And I'm actually gonna double roll it. Oh, no! Oh, fuck. Why am I dropping everything today?
Skills.
Apparently, I got the mad dropsy skills. Elite action. Alright, so the front of his, well, there's kind of like this little bit here in the back. It's kind of like a hood over, like a little dome. It was behind where driver would be located. Oh look, more glitter. Yay. Finding the glitter. We'll forever be finding glitter. This is probably going to take a hot minute to attach, since I didn't pre-stab it, so now I have to stab it now that it's on here. So it's gonna take a minute of fussing. Just a few minutes. So over here, blue glitter, could you go somewhere else, please? And you might have to add to this a bit. To get it built up to how it needs to be. So we're kind of sort of approaching it from like a 3D printer where we're gonna layer things up from the bottom. At least I think that's how 3D printers work. I don't own one. But from what I've seen from some 3D printer videos, that is sort of what I'm basing my limited knowledge on the subject on. So I'm going to keep changing our angle here at times, just to make sure we're not getting a little too out of shape, I suppose, and out of placement, because sometimes you can move your fiber around a little bit as you're poking it. You can't like put it here and expect it to end up down here, but it is possible to nudge it gently over just a little bit. A little squishy still. And as you stab through, it'll kind of tighten up. It's grabbing all of the fibery pieces together. I have a feeling this one's gonna be a little bit extra fussy. So I'm not gonna be real surprised if this one takes some layering up. It probably will. More than likely. He's kind of getting flattened a bit as we're stabbing through him, but I want him to be a bit stiffer. I don't want him that squishy. Like, there's still too much loose fuzz in there for my liking. Because then when I go to put the color layer on, I don't want it to lose its shape too much, so I want to make sure that our shape's pretty well established here before we start going crazy with our color and stuff. Again, I'm just kind of re-tapping the entire shape now just to make sure that we're still looking pretty good. I mean, it's gonna be most likely a little off in some places. And I'm not gonna make it that dark. My dad's colorblind, so he has trouble with colors sometimes. I'm not sure if blue is one of them. I know green is. I'm not sure if red is. Alright, so feeling pretty good about our thickness on the bottom here, because I'm not seeing where we've poked through too much. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Although, you know, I wasn't really trying to poke through that hard, but so you can see that this shape has changed a little bit. Since we first started attaching them, and that's alright. So it feels a little squishy, and the only thing I can really equate the squishy feeling to would be like maybe a spider egg sac or something. Or like if you take a wad of pet fur and like just keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it between your fingers, playing with it. It's kind of what it feels like as you keep manipulating it. Now, I don't necessarily want that to stay that low, so I am going to add another piece here. We're still gonna build this back piece up, but I just kind of realized, you know, we probably need something running down the middle just to kind of establish height on the boat. Just to kind of help get that built up a bit. Because right now there's not even a place to put the seat. Now, the model was sort of a replica, not 100% a replica, but, you know, of the boat that my dad raced. So, he was part of the, I guess, the amateur non-pro boat driver league, the weekend racers that would like go around, that, you know, didn't have the corporate sponsors and stuff. So, and his boat didn't have the the enclosed canopy over him. Oh, excuse me. He had open driver. He didn't have the little windshield capsule over him. At least going by the one picture that I had come across. So this isn't like, he didn't have like the high speed, he didn't race like the high speed cigarette boats or cigar boats, or whatever the hell they call them. I think they've also been nicknamed the drug runner boats because of how fast they were. He didn't drive those. He had the more flat to the water surface ones, you know, the ones that like kick up the big ass rooster tails. His didn't have a spoiler on the back. His wasn't that class. But apparently the boat was big enough that the trailer he put it on, he had to tip it sideways. It was wide enough where it had to be tilted for traffic purposes. But then I think it was either right before I was born or the year I was born, my mom kind of threw a shit fit about him traveling, from what I'm told, about him traveling to go to these races, because she used to go with him and they didn't want to traipse around with me in tow, I guess. And so she made him sell the boat. And then I don't know what happened to it after that. I know he had to have sold it because I never saw it in person that I have a memory of. I don't know if it kept on racing under somebody else, or if it got scrapped for parts. I have no idea what happened to it. Okay, so this one's poking through a little bit in this section. Not a huge deal. So we're gonna see if we can kind of, like, I thought I had a picture on my computer of it that we had used when we were making the, as a reference when we were making the stencil for the clay ornaments that we did of it that one year. Well, it might have been last year, but I couldn't find it, so I'm like, well, that's a thing. Alright, but it will end up being a Christmas tree ornament when we're done. We might have to do 2 little hanger do's on it, just because balance and weight and stuff, but I mean, we're not doing like traditional Christmas tree ornaments like little baubles and gingerbread men or nutcrackers or snowflakes or something. We're kind of trying to make a personal thing that, you know, when you look at that, that's like, oh, that's them. That's who I think of. Something that represents them. So that's why we've got, I still have to put the string on it, that's why we've got the hermit crab. That looks really bad. And super, super derpy. I might have to add in a second hanger on his shell, because I'm not sure how he's gonna balance when I get the string on there. I mean, I probably should have had the hanger like back here, to be perfectly honest, but we'll see what happens with that. I feel bad because it looks so derpy. The husband just kind of looked at it and laughed. Hopefully he just wasn't humoring me. I know it looks bad. But man, hermit crabs are hard. My nose is a little off. Oh well. Did he end up canceling his appointment tomorrow, or is he still going?
He's gonna try.
Did we ever find out what's going on with his eyes?
Nope.
My dad's not very good at explaining what's going on. It's just like, my eyes are bothering me. Well, how are they bothering you? Are they just dry and itchy? Are you having double vision? Is your vision blurred? Can you not even read your own handwriting? Can you not read your computer? Like, are they just watery? Like, information. He's just like, they're just bothering me. And I'm like, that's not helpful. We can't work with that. So I'm still not quite sure what all's going on with him. We were thinking we may have averted him having to go to the hospital again, but now that the eye thing started, I don't know. He's got one doctor's appointment tomorrow, and it was for his lung guy, and he was like, well, I'm gonna cancel because my eyes are bothering me. I'm like, you're not the one driving. You don't need to see. You need to go to this doctor's appointment. Unless you've suddenly been stricken blind and you're not telling us. I was like, we need to know what is going on. But you need to go to this lung doctor appointment after the last, like, week almost of you being weird and not being able to have a clear conversation. It's like, no. We're pretty sure he just had too much fluid build up again. Because he lost like 10 pounds of fluid, of water weight, in like 3 days when he went back on the bumped up dosage of the one medication. And then he started thinking and acting a little more coherent. But he can't stay on that dosage of diuretic for more than a couple of days because of his kidneys. So we're fighting a losing battle. But we've taken over being a bit more stringent over his diet since my mom was just like, I don't know what the fuck to feed him, and just kind of threw her hands up in the air and was giving him whatever. We're like, no. We keep telling you. Gotta reduce this, you gotta reduce that. But we'll see what happens. See what this doctor says tomorrow. Okay, so we're getting there, but that does need to be built up a bit more. Now when I get through this roving, if we keep doing 3D guys, oh, hi Marvin. Marvin's trying to join in. So for those that didn't see, this is my mom's. It's her little roostery guy. We saw Russell's hermit crab a few minutes ago. There's the, picking up all kinds of fuzz from my desk. There's the mother-in-law's butterfly, and that's her sister's bird. Bird's a little thinner than he probably should be, but it's okay. It's all good. Yeah, as I was starting to say, when I go through this, if we decide to keep doing 3D guys, I might grab a bit of just the white roving at some point, just to hold on to be the core of some of this stuff, just to try to make life a little bit simpler. So just trying to build up the front of the nose, because this needs to be a bit higher, a bit taller. I'm not happy with the height on that. Like, we're getting there, and we've got the idea. We need more. Definitely on the right track, I think. I was actually super nervous about starting this one because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I'm starting to get super hungry. Alright. So, the stomach is a growlin'. This might take a few layers of building up, but I think we're definitely going in the right direction. And we still have to do our color. This is not the the final color of this, so I am a little concerned we'll have some of the body color poking through into the hull color. We might, but we might be able to trim that up a bit as well when the time comes. Sorry, the cat was making a weird noise. Sounded like he was licking something rather loudly, but it was just the way he was scratching his face. Alright, so I feel like we need to add just a little bit more height to our nose here. Oh, my neck's doing the fizzy neck. Ugh, hate that. Oh, it's gross. If you've never been plagued by fizzy neck, hope that you never are. Because, my God. It is so creepy. Those that have experienced it very much know what the hell I'm talking about. It kind of, like when you pour a carbonated beverage into a glass and you see the little bubbles going up the sides, and you know, and you can kind of, if you put your hand over the top, you can kind of feel the sensation of the bubbles popping at the surface. That bubble traveling up the side of the glass is what it feels like, or what I can equate it to, the sensation being in my neck, like in the back of my neck. It's, oof, it's creepy when it decides to start doing that. And you can feel it, like, and it makes a noise, kind of like a fizzy bubble going up. Ugh. It doesn't hurt, it just the sensation. Is disturbing. Sometimes it's really loud too. Like, internally loud, I guess. I don't think anybody else can hear it. What is that? Is he getting into trouble? I mean, it's P-Butt. He was on the bed a second ago, so I don't know where he's at now. Alright, I think we'll get our nose piece finished getting tacked on here. And we may end up stopping soon.
Well, don't stop on my account.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay.
Could you actually start that water? It's probably going to be at least, well, I don't know, because you got the gallons.
Probably
so.
not going to be making pasta for me. So did you want angel hair instead, or?
Yeah, we can do that. Then, then don't start the.
Or just wait.
Yeah, just wait then, because the angel hair doesn't take as long.
Yeah, because I'm not doing great.
Okay, so you're not gonna do pasta tonight. No. All right. So if you wanted to just take like 2 ladles of sauce. Okay, I was gonna say, if you wanted to put 2 ladles of sauce aside for me and then start working on the rest of it, freezing it, that's fine. Now you're gonna be out with him tomorrow. Do you want me to make pizza?
That sounds good.
Okay, so then I just need enough left out for pizza tomorrow then too. Sorry, I'm trying to bring this nose back into into line here because I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's off. I know it's off. And I was like, oh, well, you know, it's just gonna be off, but now it's starting to bug me. But I also don't know if it's bugging me quite so much because of the color difference that's happening over here. Alright, so yeah, I mean we do have a bit of purple tacked onto here. Oh, okay. Oh, this might have been the backside that we were working on before. I don't remember. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Just using this as a way to get our piece off of the mat easier. Again, you don't have to do this. It's not like oh, you need to have this in between you and the mat. This is a me thing, 100%. I've just found it's easier to peel this up off of here. We won't be using, well, we'll sort of be using this when we go back to our Bob Ross painting. But it's what we're felting into in that scenario. And for those that want to see the Bob Ross painting with wool series, we've been following the third season of the Joy of Painting. I probably should have just picked season 1 and just started from there, but went with season 3. And we've done 3 of those tutorials so far. And those can be found on the YouTube channel. Those are archived. YouTube channel is NiseyBGN, same as it is here. There should be a playlist. You might have to scroll through the list of playlists, but there should be a playlist that says Nisey Needle Felts that has all of our needle felting fun on there. And there is 2 sped up videos of the first 2 tutorials that we did. I did a after we were done the live streams, I took the live streams, edited them down, and sped them up to about, what was it, like 800% speed, so that way you can see the project in more of a continuous format. Those videos were still kind of long, but you know, is what it is. And I mean, they were taken from the live streams. So the third tutorials, speed felt, as I'm calling them, it's not done being edited. I was working on it, and then Christmas gift season kind of kicked off, so I've been busy doing that. I am still working on it. I think I'm on the 8th. I'm editing like the 8th live stream out of the, 12 there were of that particular one. Those projects that we did are also for sale on the Kofi page. The third one's not up yet because I was waiting to get the speed felt done to link in with it. And I have some other stuff. Like, we've done the Bob Ross painting with the oil paints and stuff, as well. But, I haven't gotten those ones up. We did those on magnets. They're about 4 inches big, so they're chunky, but they've got 2 magnets on the back that you can probably just slam up on the fridge to hold something in place. Alright, so I actually think that that's probably going to need another layer of height added onto that before we start adding the color, but I've seriously got to eat, so I think we're going to pause there for today. Tomorrow we're still going to do Planet Zoo as scheduled, and we'll see if we can get the walls situated on the Frog House. Saturday I'm on the Wild Challenges podcast. We will be it's kind of hard to see because he's in the dark here. So this is his side view. This is his flat view, so you can kind of see closer to the camera what we're dealing with here. So yeah, he needs to be built up a little bit more. So I promise there's nothing. Get your minds out of the gutters. It's a boat. We're working on it. But yeah. So Saturday's Wild Challenges podcast is the Deathless Show. It's the last podcast of the year. Before winter break for that. So then the 3 Saturdays that will be off, we'll probably be doing something silly like Viva Pinata, or we can do Katamari or something. Well, I have to steal the cable from the husband's controller see if it fits mine.
It does.
So if that works out, then we'll do Katamari because I need the controller for that. If not, then we'll just do Viva Pinata and just, you know, some chill stuff. And we'll figure that out from there. I still have that that chef game that we haven't looked at yet. That the husband gave me, so we could look at that one day too. Maybe we'll do Viva Pinata one Saturday, Katamari one Saturday, and then we'll look at that cooking game. That sounds like a plan. So, and then Sunday we'll be back to working on this guy. I'm not gonna have time again before then, so I hope y'all have a great night. Make sure you follow all the socially thingies down below. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon, evening for Planet Zoo. So have a good end to your week, guys.